Hi there, it's Martin from CapedwonderEurope. Welcome to 2026. Didn't 2025 just fly by, for want of a better expression? I'm sorry about the lack of content for last year. There's so much I've got to catch up on. The Spin Masters figures, everything that went on in regards to releasing for Superman last year. Hopefully you caught the last video of Alexi and I at Prop Store. That was an incredible day. That was a great time. Some incredible lots there. We don't know where they ended up. We know where some ended up, thankfully, which is great news. But we're charging into 2026 already, and I can't hold it in any longer. This is the biggest news so far this year, and what an incredible start. The making of Superman the movie, the definitive account by David Michael Petrou, has been restored. And I'll explain that term in a second because I really do mean restored, and updated, and is going to be released in the coming months in this large format hardcover book. No more, no longer will we have to put up with dog-eared, yellowed paperback books that we've been rifling through for all these years. Can you believe that they didn't release a hardcover back in the day? All it was the paperback. That's all we had. That's all we've ever had. So this was long, long overdue. This is not a reprint. This is not something that has just been taken from the original text. This is an entirely new composition. So Daniel Sanchez, a good friend of mine, and Daniel Sanchez has poured his heart and soul into this edition. And what do you expect really from, and I need to get this right, the recipient of the Siegel and Schuster Awards of Excellence for Outstanding Achievements in Journalism for 2025, no less, is responsible for this new edition. He has had to take the original typeface, for example, and upgrade it just to fit in this new edition. So it means that he's had to go back to the original text and redo pretty much everything. Not only that, but the black and white photographs in the center that you remember from the old book, they have all been completely redone. Jim Bowers has gone deep into the archives to find out some great new material for you to put in the middle of this book. There is a new foreword by David Michael Petrou himself. There is a new afterword by David Michael Petrou himself. There is also a passage from Daniel Sanchez, really touching piece that he's put in there too. I cannot recommend this enough already, and it's only the prototype copy. It should have been with us since the beginning. Steven Spielberg himself says that this is the definitive account of any movie that's ever been made, and I don't know what more endorsement you need than that. So much detail, there's so much thought and love, which again, only fans can do, can't they? Let's face it, at this juncture, at this point in all of our lives when it comes to Superman memorabilia, the best stuff comes from the fans, and this is just indicative of it. This is a complete labour of love. So make sure you get on there, make sure you secure your copy. Now, it seems as good a time as any for me to announce that I will be adding, hopefully, at some point in the future, to the Cape Wonder Library. Cape Wonder Library consists of the Richard Donner years, large format book by Jim Bowers, written by Brian McKernan, which is an absolute must for anybody, any Superman fan ever. Plus, now this, and I will be adding to it with my book, which is entitled Take the Gentleman's Cape, the definitive account of the Superman costume. I don't have a release date yet. I know exactly what it's going to look like. It's going to be more of an art-based book, something that maybe you'd imagine Chip Kidd would put together, cross between that and a prop store catalogue. It looks into great detail about the origins of the Superman costume, all the way through from Siegel and Schuster, right the way through to, I think we stop at about 1989 with the Gerard Christopher Superboy costume. But the focus is obviously the Christopher Reeve Superman costume as designed by Yvonne Blake. Now, the most exciting thing for me so far with this book, the stuff I've managed to collate, the images and everything I've put together, it's going to blow your mind, folks. But the best thing that I've managed to do so far is I have an introduction written, already there, already done, by no less than John Bloomfield himself. That's right, folks, the costume designer for Superman 4 has written an introduction to my book. You want the designs for Superman 4? You got them. You want to know what Berman's and Nathan's looked like back in the day? You got it. It's probably going to be my life's work, and I'm so kind of proud to add to that Kate Wonder library. It's going to be hopefully the definitive volume and the final word on the subject regarding the Superman costume. Now, speaking of costumes, again, 2025 went in such a blur that only now have I been able to put this display together to show you, to talk you through right now. It's a great story, and it's an incredible piece. Oh my gosh, I never thought for one moment that I would get to own an original Superman the movie piece of costume from Berman's and Nathan's as designed by Yvonne Blake. I can't wait to walk you around it, so stick around. We're going to take a little tour of it. We're going to go around. No stone left unturned, as usual when it comes to me. You know what I'm like. I love the details, so stick around. Let's have a look. So I was lucky enough in the dying days of 2025 to secure this incredible piece. And it was one of a whole slew of Krypton costumes that just appeared out of nowhere that this vendor was offering for auction. And with every kind of listing, it got more and more exciting because it was like, well, this is, first of all, conclusive proof that all the costumes as designed by Yvonne Blake for the Krypton inhabitants were actually made. Of course, we can see the extras running around in the film during Krypton's demise, and we can see the reflective 3M tape on quite a few of the garments, but we couldn't make out what the garments were definitively. And now, thanks to this incredible discovery, because it seems like the vendor had all of the extras costumes, all of them. He sold them one by one to begin with, and then a large consignment went to Prop Store for their winter auction. And I was lucky enough to nab this incredible piece for myself. Still can't believe it. I'm looking at it now. I should be talking to you folks all about it, but instead I just keep getting carried away and staring at it. It's really telling because in the other pieces we've been able to find out actors' names because the Berman's and Nathan's tags are still present, which is wonderful. This particular, what would you call this? This is like a cross between a cape and a tabard, something like that. A wonderful Krypton collar, the 3M banding. Of course, it doesn't look like this. This is under just direct sunlight. I'm in the conservatory at home, and it's being illuminated from above. I mean, on set it would look completely different, and obviously the 3M material would be illuminated. I will show you a picture of what it looks like illuminated. It is absolutely breathtaking. But it does conclusively prove that the superhero aesthetic that Yvonne Blake was trying to demystify, if you like, by having all the male inhabitants on Krypton dress in what we would call superhero attire, because you could easily put the Superman costume under this tabard. You could have the tunic, the belt, the tights, and especially the boots. Now, the boots do appear on most of the males in the concept art. So everybody was a Superman on Krypton. And we have further proof of this because there was another lot that the vendor offered that in the Berman's and Nathan's tag said Superman 2, which was really confusing to us at first. We'd kind of misinterpreted what that actually meant. Let's get around the back here. There's the collar with a zip, just a simple hook and eye arrangement, and a zip all the way down the back. We'll talk about the fabric in a second. There are Superman 1 and Superman 2, two extras, one of which got to wear a cape. And that was also offered by the vendor, and I really, really wanted to get hold of that, but I was unsuccessful, unfortunately. But that cape was made in exactly the same way, as Christopher Reeve's capes were, except it was white. It had the lining, it had the straps. It was the same length, the same pleats on the shoulders. So, you know, male inhabitants on Krypton wore Superman capes. They also wore Superman tunics. They also wore Superman boots. She tried to demystify it. It's so clever. This fabric, really it's got a fabulous sheen on it, which you're not going to be able to see, I don't think. But it's very heavy, very thick, very smooth. For 70s kids, if there are any watching, if you had a pair of those horrible orange curtains, 70s style curtains back in the day, it feels like that kind of fabric. A very simplistic, sleek design with the vents cut in and the 3M fabric stitched directly over the top. Tag in the back tells us that this was made for an actor or an extra called Raymond Kronk. And Raymond had obviously fallen out with the collar because there's blood on the backside of this collar here that is the remainder of a hard day's shooting, by the look of it, where it's rubbed onto his neck. It didn't come to me in a very good state, I have to say. I was terrified that the strips would be cracked or broken. It's sympathetically restored. I had to, well, the collar was separated from the body of the tunic here. The lining, or the hem, I should say, was also hanging out and in poor state. And God bless my mom coming to the rescue. She found some vintage ivory cotton and put it back together for me. So it just wasn't displayable until such time as I managed to get it fixed up. And then I did everything I could to try and get the creases out of it with just steaming, being very delicate, being very cautious not to go anywhere near the strips, even though the heat did make them more pliable and it did allow me to bend them back into shape so delicately. Not only can we confirm that most, if not all of those costume pieces were made, but we can match them up to the performers' names now. We have everybody from Paul Weston, the stuntman, Wendy Leach, the stunt lady, and the names of the other extras. I've not been able to see this particular outfit on screen during that scene, or the provenance that we need is in the designs itself, and obviously that fantastic tag in the back, the original Burmans and Nathans tag, which is unmistakable, by the way. So yes, not just a fantastic piece, but also one of many that all go towards the retelling of the history of this magnificent film. And God bless Yvonne Blake for what she did. I will continue to celebrate everything that lady did for this magnificent film, because it means so much to me. And as far as I'm concerned, it's an absolute revelation with what she managed to put together for what amounted to seconds of screen time, with all the thought and effort that went into conceptualizing what an alien race would wear and how we perceive it to be a superhero outfit, when in fact it's nothing but what the residents would wear day to day. How magnificent is that? But there you go. Hope you enjoy it.